Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the Musical Connections podcast. And this is the final installment of our series, 15 Years on the Lawnya. So, Lawnya Vawnya is a multidisciplinary music and arts festival here in St. John's, and the 15th installment took place June 4th to the 7th. And we're talking with the people that are involved in the festival from an artist point of view and from an industry point of view. We're wrapping up this series with an artist point of view. Originally from the prairies and now based in Montreal, their band Andy and the Dannies killed it at a couple of shows, one at the Space and one at the Ship. Joining me right now is the lead singer of Andy and the Dannies, Andy Mulcair. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
And thank you so much for coming back to St. John's. This is your second time at Lawnya Vawnya, second time here in St. John's.
Absolutely, yeah.
How excited are you to be back here in St. John's for Lawnya Vawnya?
I love coming back here. The music scene is super friendly, and the curation of this festival specifically is just on point.
Oh, I would agree for sure.
Yeah.
And there's a whole multitude of genres that are highlighted here. Like you have like your interesting pop music, you have your interesting rock music, but the heavier stuff, the independent stuff, plus the garage rock, which on your Bandcamp description you call yourselves a band that produces high energy, fun garage rock. And
That's what I try to do, yeah.
And it's great to have all this come together in one place and really showcase the best of the independent scene all across the country, really. Mm-hmm. So what brings you here to Lawnya Vawnya for your second time?
So I started this project solely with the goal in mind to play a set that I would want to see, to the kind of set that just gets you excited about writing music again. And so with that, like, I had played Lawnya Vawnya a couple of years ago with my other band, Knitting, and after a couple of years, I applied with Andy and the Dannies, and they brought me out here, and it's just like a chance for me to get on stage and just like kind of be a bit of a goofball, but do it with some of my best friends and just kind of like bring some energy into the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you feel the energy from the bottom of the floor right here.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a concert right below the Eastern Edge garage. But like, it goes to show, like, when it comes to these festivals, they go all out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we and they take care of us too. So thank you, Lawnya Vawnya.
Yes, and one of the members of the band is actually the programming coordinator for Lawnya Vawnya, Sarah Harris, who've played in many other bands here in town, like India and with Knitting, of course.
Yeah. So Sarah's in Knitting, not in Andy and the Dannies, but in Knitting. Yeah.
Yeah, but the bands I mentioned, India, because she played with Jack Etchegary back
Excellent.
in the day. So
yeah.
That's it's great to have her bring you back as Andy and the Dannies.
Absolutely.
And not do the Knitting thing, but of course I would imagine those days were a lot of fun though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So tell me about those Knitting days and how that all got started.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, Mish Dempsey, who's kind of the songwriter and the boss, as it were, had a bunch of songs, and they were doing solo shows, but during the pandemic, they reached out to the three of us, the other members of the band, Piper, Sarah, and myself. And we just started doing jams kind of later in the pandemic, 2021 or so. And then we realized, okay, this sound is changing a bit. Let's change the name and let's call it Knitting. Let's put out a record under that name, and it's the rest is history, I guess. We're still working on a new one.
Yeah, but I think your main thing right now is focusing on Andy and the Dannies, I would imagine.
For sure.
So what is this Andy and the Dannies band that you've came up with?
Yeah, so I mean, it's I moved to Montreal in 2017, and I had left probably 5 or 6 bands that I played with in Edmonton, Alberta. That would include Marlena Moore, who's also playing this year at Lawnya Vawnya, who played bass with me for my 2 shows. And when I all of a sudden was in another city, I did have some friends in the music scene in Montreal, but I didn't have that high energy rock band that I always had back home in Edmonton. So I said, I'm just going to start it myself. Typically, I'm a drummer, so I just kind of write and record everything at once, and I'll play every instrument And for the first couple of albums, or EPs rather, I should say, I just did everything myself, mixing, mastering, all that. And only recently have I started working with other people. But in terms of the live show, Andy and the Dannies is whoever can make it work for their schedule. So you might say everyone's a Danny. You're a Danny. We're all Dannies. So welcome to the Dannyverse. I did not plan to say that, but I did. And now it's out there.
I mean, you can merchandise that too. I mean, I don't know if you have merch on that already, but trademark that.
Fair.
Dannyverse, that's great. But I would probably see, there's this other band that we have here in town called The Lost and Found. It's founded by Ben Chapman Smith and Pat Sloan. Now, Ben Chapman Smith's from Ontario, and then I believe Pat's are from, I don't know if it's from Ontario or St. John's. That was a couple of episodes ago. But they have the same concept. It's two of them and then whoever they can get. So they had Liza Constantine. They had Gina Burgess, who's from Nova Scotia.
Okay.
It's whoever they can get to play, and it's kind of this vaudeville variety kind of thing.
It absolutely changes with new members, the chemistry is different every time.
Yeah.
And I find there are there's small changes, but playing with someone who's as charismatic as Marlena brings almost this sort of live late night show rock set to the band, whereas my regular players back home, we're it can be a little bit more scrappy and jangly, and so it absolutely, playing with different people I think also pushes you as a musician. You get a chance to create friendships and build community. Yeah, for
sure. What do you enjoy most about playing in St. John's?
St. John's is very special to me. I grew up on the prairies, so the ocean is a special thing. You don't get it too often.
Yeah, because there's a lot of flatlands and farmlands.
Yeah, it's Alberta's beautiful, but there's no coast. So whenever I had a chance when I was younger, it was Vancouver. But now that I'm in Montreal, it's going east is a lot easier. But yeah, St. John's is a beautiful town. The people are so welcoming. The music scene is thriving, and there's really there's no way that anyone's going to keep me from coming back every year at Lawnya Vawnya. It's a great festival. Yeah.
Have you considered doing gigs here in the future outside of Lawnya Vawnya?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna be around in July. And I'm playing with the idea of possibly booking a show. That's all I'm going to say for now. But maybe just a little pub show, bar show, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Maybe a full band show. You could probably bring your band back to St. John's again.
We'll see. Yeah.
Maybe you can get some people from here to play with you.
I mean, that's the whole idea of having the Dannyverse.
Now, you've played in Montreal for good amount of years. You moved there in 2017, and you've played there ever since. So, from a Montrealer's perspective, what would you say the music scene up there is like versus of what you observed so far from your only 2 visits here in St. John's? So, from Montrealer's perspective, what does Montreal seem like versus what you see here in St. John's?
Yeah, so Montreal is a bigger scene, and so there are just different crowds. I wouldn't call them cliques. I wouldn't call them they're not necessarily separate from each other. We all kind of share similar venues. We'll play similar venues. There's some are a little more punk, some are a little better for the folk stuff. Some are a bit of a all around mix. But there is definitely different crowds. So when I'm booking a show in Montreal per se, I'm going to try and get maybe say it's a 3-band bill. If I'm playing, I'll try and get a band that's maybe just outside of my crowd. Or 2 bands that are just outside of my crowd, so that we can kind of get a bigger draw from those styles and genres of music.
Yes, and bigger followings too, depending on how far they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Whereas I feel with St. John's, it seems it's a bit of a smaller scene, and so everyone kind of knows each other, and the community is maybe a little bit. There's kind of just the one music scene, but that's my impression. I can't really speak to how it really is.
No, absolutely. But of course, with Montreal, it's one of the biggest cities in the country, and St. John's is a city too. We've called it a town because it's been a town for as long as we can remember. But the population
absolutely.
Here is about 100 to 200,000 here, and we're only behind Halifax, with the second largest municipality in the Atlantic provinces.
There you go.
So, but we have come a long way, but it is smaller compared to, like, say, a Montreal, where I don't know about the official population there. It's probably in the millions, I think.
Roundabout, yeah.
But of course, I feel very proud of how far our scene has come too, and like down the road, like I'm glad festivals like these exist because it allows all these bands from other parts of, like, say, here in town and from outside of St. John's and then outside the province too to come together and really, showcase the best of what they're all about. I mean, you guys had a really fun show last night, the day that we're recording this is June 7th, which is the last day of Lawnya Vawnya. You guys were part of that food fight that I Want to Be on TV hosted. And one of your drummers got killed?
So,
Killed?
yeah, killed. We'll put unalived, maybe. The incredible creative force that is Alex and Charvel, which is the I Want to Be on TV team. Plus, I mean, there's a lot of people helping. There was a huge tech team. There was a bunch of actors and props that were made. They put together this bit of a commentary on food insecurity, and there was a whole script based around big grocery, and there was some foul play. Let's put it at that. Yeah.
Yes, I think the Rat and Rat ate one of the apples, and then your other drummer, Jake Cherwick, actually stepped in for you because one of your members couldn't make it. But another one of the members got an anvil dropped on their head.
Yes, my second drummer, Reese Clement-Hodge, unfortunately was squashed by a real anvil.
Oh no!
No, yeah. No, it was fun. It was really fun. I've never been part of a live streamed event. You can watch it on YouTube, I'm sure. It was, but they set up a bunch of viewing parties across the country, and it was live streamed, and that was probably one of the coolest shows I've ever played. It was just.
We'll put the link in the description of this video.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
But of course, you've been playing for quite a long time. So how did this whole music journey start for you, Andy?
That's a great question. I kind of got into rock a little late in life. And let's just call it early 20s. I just realized how awesome it was and how much I wanted to be a rock star. And you gotta fake it to make it, I suppose. But I just started silly rock bands back home in Edmonton, and I would play with anyone who asked. Mostly, I am a support musician, so this project, Andy and the Dannies, is really kind of me putting out, the kind of music that I think is fun to see at a live show. But yeah, I played with some incredible folks back home in Edmonton, Jessica Jalbert of Faith Healer, John Common, and I also had the absolute pleasure of playing in a band called Power Buddies. That's with Cassia Hardy, Nolan Bossert, and Hank Sebsta. And shout out to those guys, those folks. And we did a couple of cross Canada tours, just absolutely rocking the socks off. Some bowling alleys and movie theaters. I don't know. We played a bunch of places. But I was a late bloomer for falling in love with rock, and once it started, it just hasn't stopped.
That's awesome, man. Now, of course, you call Andy and the Danny's project a band where you create high energy, fun garage rock. What are some of those garage rock bands you were listening to that helped, craft the sound and really, help craft your musical taste?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could go with some of those California bands from the mid-aughts, like King Tuff and some, White Fence. And then at the same time, maybe some more... I wouldn't call Andy the Danny's punk. I don't think it really is, but it's. I wish I could be. But I think
garage punk, perhaps.
Yeah. I don't know if the punk scene would be okay with that. I don't know if I can claim it, but it's. I just love the energy of a punk band live, and so I feel like I kind of try and mix that sort of like beach California beach rock, whatever you call it, with the energy of a punk band, and that's kind of what I'm going for, but with these lyrics that are absolutely silly and pretty lighthearted. Nothing. I don't really have any heavy songs. Yeah,
but it's just you spitting out whatever comes to your mind.
Yeah, it's 90% of the time I'm talking about going on tour or just the life of a, amateur musician, intermediate. I don't know where I'm at. You can let me know. Let me know in the comments.
Yes, absolutely, please. Whether it's comments on YouTube or comments on Instagram or Facebook when we post the reels from this. But of course, carry on.
Oh no! I mean, I think I lost my train of thought. So whatever you have next for me.
No, absolutely. When it comes to like that, then that's great to put out there because my view of garage rock is pretty limited, and like the surf rock is pretty limited. But like, of course, the first things that come to mind, like the Beach Boys and the Ventures, Safaris,
oh yeah,
Dick Dale and the I don't know the Dick Dale and the Miserloos. I don't know, but Miserloo was a song that he put out back in 1962.
Absolutely, yeah. No, those are the classics. I can't say my guitar skills don't quite get there, but the messy 3-chord structure that I can do.
Wonderful. What kind of punk would you say you are influenced by most? Is like the early 70s and 80s punk where you had like Sex Pistols and The Clash that came up?
Oh,
like the
great
90s
question.
were Green Day and Blink-182, or maybe more modern punk like
oh no, I'd probably say like the egg punk is the closest that I could identify with my music. So I don't know, like Devo I guess is kind of the king of egg punk, I think. Again,
Devo.
Yeah, like I mean after that came sort of like this mess of like lo-fi, warbly, kind of just like compressed to all hell, cassette releases of just fast punk that had shouty lyrics and lots of slapback. And I guess Prison Affair would be a band that is current and modern. Snooper would be another one. Just bands that absolutely kill it and make these just absolutely like little boxes of loud. Such a weird way to put it.
No, but absolutely. Like those are great bands to pick up there. Like I think also other bands like Motorhead and Living Colour would also probably fall into that. Like because all the slapback Motorhead, especially with songs like Ace of Spades, and then Living Colour's Cult of Personality. Those will probably be ones that can be like fall into that category
for sure.
But so how important are festivals like these for bands like yourself that really want that opportunity? Travel the country, but also make your name as an intermediate or maybe a novice or rookie musician or something.
We'll figure it out by the end.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'd say it's just integral to creating community. You meet so many musicians from across the country, sometimes from outside of the country, and you just make these connections. And whether it's just following each other on Instagram and liking and commenting occasionally, or having a genuine relationship or collaboration. For example, I am going to be putting out a split tape with Penny and the Pits. They performed at the Ship last night as well. And I had the pleasure of playing with them because I was actually filling in for Misha and the Spanks. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it.
Yeah.
But Penny and the Pits they just put out an incredible record. I don't know the title off the hand, but check it out.
Liquid Compactor?
I think that's it. Yeah, Liquid Compactor. Yes.
Yeah,
excellent.
Penelope was actually one of the featured guests on this series.
Oh, excellent. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Just killer rock record. But we're putting out a split tape together. It didn't work out to have it at the festival, but that came out of a relationship that we had created, I guess, at Flourish Festival in Fredericton, and that would have been 2023, 2 years ago. Knitting had played at this festival, and Penny, I think, billeted the band. So we had stayed at her place, and it was just an organic friendship. Two musicians that have toured many times, and I reached out maybe 2-3 months ago and said, "Hey, let's do something together." So yeah, to answer your question, festivals like this are integral to building community, which I think is kind of the best way to grow your I hate the term, but grow your brand as a musician. Very anti-punk to call music a brand.
I mean, a term is hard to avoid.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true, and I mean, unfortunately, that's the world we live in. So
exactly.
But yeah, that's I would say is
Oh,
relationships.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. What will you take away from this year's Lawnya Vawnya? Because this is the 15th installment of the Independent Festival. What will you take away from this experience?
I think this has been the most like refined year of this festival. Now, I haven't been here for all 15 years, but I'm just going to speak to this year. The events, the curation of the lineups, the sort of the community aspect of the punk show that's going on downstairs, and the craft and art fair, and there's a trailer out there where you can record directly to tape.
Yeah, and that's Jake Nichols' Scamper out there.
Yeah, and we did that this morning. I have a one-of-one tape that is not. I don't even have the digital copy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I need to like go home and rip it so that I can put it on my my Bandcamp. But I feel as though this festival is just a reliably excellent festival for building community. In terms of actual performances and the technical aspect of things, everything is just ducks in a row, and you see the people who run the festival running around, making sure everybody's happy, making sure that everything's working out, and just kudos to everyone involved with this festival. Yeah, congratulations on 15 years.
Yeah, congratulations to 15 years as well, and a big shout out to Nora DeMariafi for helping me out with this, and big thank you to her for that. So any other future plans aside from that? Because I think we were talking off the air here that you're only gonna be like putting out the singles and the EPs and stuff. Maybe an EP down the road, but singles are the future plan. Like any other tour gigs?
Yeah,
outside of like here, or maybe a show back in St. John's, maybe.
There's nothing planned right now. The way this project occupies my time is every single summer I will play 2 to 3 shows, and every single summer I will release 1 or 2 singles. It is truly sort of just like a project that I sort of like receive energy from in that sense. But to actually answer your question, yes, there will be some dates. There's going to be a date in Montreal late summer, and potentially a date here in St. John's in July. And stay tuned. And of course, as we mentioned, small festivals are integral to community, building community. So I will definitely be applying to all of the festivals in Canada, and I hope to play those next year. Yeah.
So what else does Andy Mulcair do aside from the bands I just mentioned, Nitty and Andy and the Dannies? What else do you do?
It's a great question. I drink coffee a lot. I'm a big fan of it. I have a poodle who is 7 or 8 pounds. Her name is Juju, and I enjoy swimming. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other bands aside from this that you play in?
Yeah. So I play in a project called Lovelit. Lovelit is the project of Tim Zayev. He is my lead guitarist in Andy and the Dannies. I play with Marlena Moore on occasion when she does bigger band shows. And that would be honestly it right now. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to get to one of those songs from the Andy and the Dannies project too here on the show. But for people who want to find out more about you and all the projects you got on the go, where's the best way to reach you when it comes to social media and like a website?
Yeah, absolutely. So Andy the Dannies is my handle on Instagram. I basically do everything on there. If you want, I have a Facebook. For some reason, I have 1,000 followers. That is not reflecting my success. I think there was just some type of weird like bot situation where all of a sudden a bunch of bots followed my account. I do not know why. So if you want to follow there, it basically every time I post on Instagram, it goes there too. That's all I do there. Anyway, and then bandcamp.com if you want to listen to my music, because streaming services, streaming platforms do not pay artists. Bandcamp does well. You know, we can do better, but yeah.
And if you got merchandise, support your local artists, whether it's in Montreal, St. John's, Halifax, Edmonton, you name it. Support local.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I am on the streaming platforms, I will add, but
But Bandcamp's preferred.
Yes, absolutely. Go to bandcamp.com, please, and download it for free. Do not pay for my music. Please just download it for free. Just put $0 and you can download it, no problem.
It wouldn't hurt to pay him.
No, please don't.
Well, Andy, man, this has been a pleasure to have you back in St. John's again to play some great shows. I managed to catch you guys last night at the Space, and that was a phenomenal show. Really, really well done by the guys from I Want to Be on TV. And hopefully this is not your last time at Lawnya Vawnya, and hopefully it's not your last time doing gigs outside of the festivals here. We'd love for you to come back here, maybe in the summer, the fall, the winter. Who knows? We're more than happy to welcome you back with open arms, Andy.
Excellent.
Andy Mulcair plays in Andy and the Dannies. Thanks again for doing this.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Zach.